Hey folks, it's Eric from Belgrade Beat, and I am here in Thailand still. I've been here since March 1st, and it's about time I got back to Belgrade. Things are starting to open up. There's starting to be hope for me getting back this month, in the month of May. So I want to talk about the developments in that area. Right. Just for some people who are watching might want to go to Serbia soon, might want to start planning their trip. I'm planning my trip. I plan on leaving in about 2 weeks, like the weekend. It's Sunday now, so the weekend after next. So sometime around the 22nd, 23rd, or 24th, I want to be back in Serbia. And so it's things are changing quite rapidly in some areas, and some things are staying the same. But you know, I'm starting to plan this, and if you're starting to plan to come to Serbia, you want to know if it's possible to even get in the country and how you're going to get there. If they'll let you in, how you'll get in, because as of right now, the airport is still closed. Although Air Serbia has arranged repatriation flights from various European cities starting tomorrow. So if you have a residence permit or are a Serbian citizen, you can get in on these flights from Air Serbia. So if you go on the website, Air Serbia repatriation. Hang on a second. I got it right here. Come on. Let me share the screen. Bam, 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 bam. DDoS protection. Who would attack Air Serbia's website? All right. So if you want to get back to Belgrade this week, you can go from Paris on the 11th. You can read it. There's the website. Check it out. It's permitted for citizens and foreign nationals with permanent or temporary residence in Serbia. So if I really wanted to get back today, what would I do? I would, well, it wouldn't be today, but I'm currently on an island in Thailand. But let's just, for all intents and purposes, say that I'm flying from Bangkok and I want to get to Belgrade. So you go on kayak.com and you enter. If I wanted to get back this week, I would probably just put the 11th and just hit one of those airports in Europe and get in there. But there's a problem, folks. I've got checked baggage. Normally with checked baggage, what you need to do is you need to um, go through the passport control, and then after the passport control of any country, it's you collect your baggage, then you would go out into the actual free zone of the country and have to recheck your bags and check in. Now, who knows if that's even going to be allowed? If I were to fly to Frankfurt Airport, the Schengen zone, or Vienna Airport, the Schengen zone is still closed to non-citizens. So if you're a citizen of Canada, US, or Serbia, then you would have some trouble getting there. And furthermore, maybe even the airline that would fly you to Frankfurt from a place like Bangkok would not actually be able to check you in, because the onus is on them to fly you back. If you get turned away by passport control, they have to pay for the ticket back in most cases, I think. So there might be a problem of that. So the only place where you can enter right now in Europe, actually there's two places, Belarus and the United Kingdom. Two countries which are not part of the European Union. Well, UK is still in a transition period of leaving the European Union. So currently now, as a Canadian citizen, I could fly to London and then possibly, I mean, it's just really hard to tell what the situation would be if I tried this route. So currently what I'm looking at for getting back, yeah, and that's the thing. I'm because I could fly into London. I could get into the United Kingdom right now with my passport, Canadian passport, but Serbian people can't do that because they need a visa for the United Kingdom. So, all right, basically, but there's some good light at the end of the tunnel here, folks. Now, here's something from Friday, and apparently that citizens of citizens of Serbia, and I'm guessing I would be included in this with a residence permit, will be given a coronavirus PCR test, or if they have a coronavirus PCR test, then they can bypass the quarantine. If you don't have the test, you'll be quarantined for 14 days, which is, a couple weeks ago is 28 days. Now it's 14 days. And I hope that by the time 2 weeks comes around, I'll be flying in and I'll have some sort of test that says I don't have corona, and I will be able to just go and live my life in Belgrade, right? If I have the test. Otherwise, I am psychologically prepared for 14 days quarantine on my home, but it doesn't sound like the best thing, because the reason I want to get back is because I want to get back to Belgrade. Why do I want to go back to my apartment in Belgrade for 2 weeks and leave all this space that I have to walk around here in the jungle island of Thailand, Koh Phangan? I mean, so if there is a way that you can do the test before, or I also heard something that they're going to offer them at the airport for like 6,000 dinars or something, 50 euros. So that would be good as well. But where do you have to be while you're waiting for that test result? Is it in a government holding facility with other people who might have corona? Or do you actually get to go to your apartment or a place where you live, and do you actually get to stay there? And then the government calls you and says, oh, yeah, you're negative. Yep, you can leave the quarantine. What if you don't get that call? Who do you call to ask? And if you're living with other people, what happens to them if you come for quarantine? I don't know the answer to that question. So this is good news. So likely what I would do is I'd be in Bangkok before I catch a flight because right now if you do Bangkok to Belgrade, I mean, nothing comes up, because Air Serbia and Wizz Air are the only ones I know of that are selling tickets to Belgrade right now, and they're both planning on. But I already noticed on the Wizz Air site they're now selling from the 25th, not the 18th like they were before. So Bangkok to Belgrade. Oh, okay, this is new. Oh, Belgrade, Rhode Island. No, this is BG. This is Belgrade. This is with a stop in Doha and Zurich, but it's really damn expensive. But I'm going to take a screenshot of this just because, well, it's still an option, because that would solve the problem I was talking about having to recheck baggage, because when you go on one ticket like this, your bags get checked all the way through. But a 9-hour stop in Doha, Qatar, and a 6-hour stop in Zurich sounds pretty exhausting, folks. All right, so if we go to the weekend when I actually want to travel, what happens then? So what I was essentially thinking, what I'm going to do is I am going to go and find a ticket from Bangkok to London. And I want to leave on Saturday the 23rd. All right. So Saturday the 23rd. KLM, Amsterdam. And it's got a flexible policy. So if something actually happens, I looked at the policy already, and if something actually happens, you can't change your ticket and even your destination. They're being super nice about this, because they know that restrictions are changing all the time and blah, 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 blah. So KLM is the best option. It's also the cheapest ticket. There was also Air France, which is more expensive, but this would get me to London, and that would get me to London on the Sunday the 24th, I think it is. And our friends at Air Serbia over here, they, I believe, have a flight from London to Belgrade. Oh, it's in Serbian. Belgrade. Jeden smer. I onda Sunday, nedelja. 24. Here we go. Let's see what we got. So, Air Serbia. Come on, show me what you got from London Heathrow. Are you gonna throw me back to Belgrade? All right. Okay, this is boring. Yeah, so I could for 250 euros on for 250 euros I could get this flight at 3:30 after landing there at 9:40, so 4 hours. And this is under the current regulations and the projected reopening of the airport of Belgrade, and the fact that Air Serbia is selling tickets, it's all sort of lines up. But then one more thing. 2-week quarantine for travelers to the UK would devastate the aviation industry. 14-day quarantine period for all travelers coming to Britain would have a devastating impact on the UK. Anyways, they're expected to announce the quarantine today as part of measures to prevent a second peak of the coronavirus. Okay? All right, so they're going to announce today. Now, what would that mean for me? Just some Canadian flying into Heathrow, trying to fly out a couple hours later, 4 hours later. How would that affect me? Would they let me through? And more importantly, if that quarantine measure is in place, would the airline let me board? How would that all work? That's what I don't know. So that's why I'm not booking this ticket right now. So what I'm really hoping is that there will be some sort of joy, but definitely $534 plus 250 euros is less than the $1,400 Qatar is wanting from me as well. Also, Wizz Air is flying a flight, which I believe Wizz Air, the ticket price is currently £30, which is about 35 euros, and that would be a little bit better than having to pay 250 euros for Air Serbia. But would I be able to go through Heathrow Airport without being quarantined by the UK government? And if the answer is yes to that question, then would I be able to go from Heathrow to Luton Airport without being quarantined by the UK government, depending on the quarantine that they announce? And could I get through Amsterdam and London with test results that are valid within 72 hours from when I get the test in Thailand? That's the next thing. So it's kind of like, right. So I had a friend from Athens who was here in Thailand with me, and she had to fly back. This was at the end of March, like the 27th, when shit was getting really crazy. She had to fly from here, the island, to take a ferry to the next island, fly to Bangkok. Then she had to fly to London from Bangkok, and then she was supposed to catch a flight from London to Athens, which then she arrived in London and found out that her flight to Athens had been canceled. So then we had to scramble. She had to spend a night in a hotel. Luckily, insurance covers this stuff, travel insurance. She had to spend a night in a hotel at Heathrow. Well, I was working over here in Thailand overnight to find a way that she could fly. Ultimately, I found that she could fly to Brussels and then to Athens, because I guess the UK kept a flight a day going to Brussels, and Brussels had a flight that went to, center of the European Union as Brussels, so they kept that open. So I'm imagining having to do the same sort of stuff, but it's not clear yet what I need to do because, well, it's still 2 weeks from when I want to travel. And what I'm kind of hoping for is that I will be able to hear stories of people crossing at the airport after the 18th, when they officially reopen and accept passenger flights. After the 18th, hear those stories, hear about this little quarantine thing. How does it work? What exactly needs to be on the paper? Because they might look at my Thai little corona test that says I'm negative corona and go, what the hell is this? Oh, it's missing this description of exactly what the test is, and just essentially tear it up in front of my face. Because, well, in bureaucracy, there's always that old expression that they say, you're missing one paper. So yeah, what are your folks? Anybody else stuck out there figuring out how to get back to Serbia? It remains to be seen whether it will be possible for normal sort of foreigners like Europeans, Americans, Canadians, Australians to get into Serbia without a residence permit. I have a residence permit, so they'll let me in because I live in Serbia. But the rest of you who want to visit Belgrade this year, have a nice time. Um, see this glorious city, Belgrade, for the first time. What's going to happen with you guys? We're going to find out. And I'm going to keep you updated on my channel about my journey back to Belgrade. And you've seen I've done some videos at the end of February, start of March about getting here and all this stuff. And yeah, it's been a great journey. I've enjoyed my time here, got in shape. We've got a gym over here where I've been training with the guy who runs the place, and really good stuff, folks. And at this point, I just want to get back to Belgrade and live my Serbian life. May is one of my most favorite months in Belgrade, in Serbia. It's just like the right temperature to be outside, not too hot. You don't have to turn your air conditioner on, but you can endlessly walk around and see the city coming to life, the patios, the parks, everything like that. And I just want to get back at this point. So any helpful information you have, put in the comments below. And if you have any questions for me, put them in the comments below and we'll have a discussion. Big thanks to the people from the Belgrade Foreign Visitors Club Facebook group who have been posting this information. I'm going to post this video as well there. And yeah, good luck on making your Serbian border crossing dreams, flying into Serbia dreams come true. And wish me good luck on my haircut tomorrow, because I haven't had anybody else but my guy Vladimir in Belgrade cut my hair for like 8 years or something. I got a Russian girl coming to do this, and we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. It just can't go on like this, and it can't go on with me not being in my favorite city, Belgrade. That's kind of the whole thing. So greetings from Thailand. It's way too sunny here. You can see my face is red from just riding the motorbike around the island this weekend, and like well, see you guys soon. Bye now.